afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on Midday Kentucky. I cannot wait to check in with Troy. He's down at Dollywood. Eric, I know you've been before.
Lisa,
have you been with the boys down to Dollywood?
Several times, actually. Yes, we love it, love it, love it. It's so much fun. I'm so jealous that he didn't invite me to go.
Yeah,
somehow. We got to get like a group outing.
It wasn't optional, but the Kentuckians chorus has been entertaining us for the past couple of minutes. Great stuff. Can't wait to check in with them. The toe was tapping. They've got a lot to come.
They were excellent. I can't wait for everyone to hear it. It's so good.
But good to be on the show with you guys on the
I
Friday.
know, Eric,
Rare
we've been
occurrence.
missing you.
Hanging out with my ladies. But yeah, looking forward to the weekend. Like I said, it's going to be very hot. So hydrate and just take appropriate heat precautions, if you will.
Right, we will. Well, before we get into all that fun, we did want to remind you there is still time to purchase your ticket for a chance to win that beautiful St. Jude Dream Home.
Yeah, we've been talking with them all morning. Each ticket is just $100, and the proceeds will benefit children with life-threatening illnesses and cancers. So please, do yourself a favor, do us a favor. Buy a ticket to ensure that the parents of these sick children never, ever receive a bill.
And the Dream Home will be raffled off here on ABC 36 on June 29th. And there's only a limited number of tickets that will be sold, so you need to get out there and get those tickets. And the number is on the screen and to buy the ticket. And you know, it's such a great opportunity to be able to do something really well to help the Children's Hospital, but also to have an opportunity to win this incredible home. I mean, it is so beautiful. It's, what, $400,000 home? I mean, it's unbelievable. It's gorgeous. Get your tickets. They are selling fast, so get out there and get it. And the number's on the screen.
Calling it a dream home is no exaggeration.
It is
We're going
not,
to check in with our friends from St. Jude. They are in our phone bank, though, 1-800-382-7512, $100. Buy as many as you would like. So more from St. Jude in just a bit.
So I wanted to start off with a topic I saw online that we sort of discuss a lot. Perks that you get in the workplace. What should you get? Some offices always have really cool perks. At first, I kind of wanted to ask you guys, would you rather have some really cool perks in exchange for less salary, or what do you think? Do they outweigh each other for you?
I want both.
Yes.
But I love the perks thing, though.
Yeah.
In my previous job, we had this deal where you had to earn points. Like if you had a really good presentation in front of a group, your manager would give you like certain, we call them NMIP points, I can't remember.
You did a good job points.
Yes, you did a good job points. And what we would do is collect these points, and then you could go to the shopping website that they had.
Okay.
And I mean, and it had it had like Coach purses and clothing, and but it also had trips. And I paid for several vacations by earning these points throughout the year, saving them. I just hoarded them and kind of saved them. And then I could pay for a vacation for us at a hotel and you know, in several different places. I did about 5 trips doing that throughout my 14 years with work. So yeah.
I think just anything to add incentive to succeed and do well. I mean, you should do that anyways.
Right.
But when they're dangling the carrot in front of you a little bit more, I think it really brings more, you know, I'm going to go get them today attitude, especially when you know you could cash that in down. Would I sacrifice salary per se for some perks?
Right.
Probably not, because perks don't pay the bills. But you think about it long term, I think anything that keeps morale high. And sometimes
that's true.
it's a cake in the break room. You know, it could be as simple as that, but something out of the ordinary that would, you know, maybe put a little pep in people's step, I think goes a long way.
Well, that's what we saw online. I found this article. We'll pop up some lists to show you. There were companies offering free breakfast, free yoga classes, and extra things for your workspace. I don't know. I think I would love to have free breakfast. Like, that would be awesome. And then I think you would want to offer that to your employees.
Absolutely.
Then it can be something healthy to kick off the day. I don't know. I think
is
it could be a good way to supplement if you can't afford to maybe pay your employees a little bit more.
Right.
Maybe give them some extra perks that can outweigh, that don't cost as much as the salary.
It is the most important meal of the day. I know our joke on the morning show is that the omelet chef keeps, you know, not showing up to work. One day there might be an omelet chef.
Hope.
But the break room coffee, it's free. It gets my caffeine kick going in the morning. I'll take it. You know, it's little things sometimes.
And it's hard, you know, it's hard too, because the employer, if they offer it every day too often, people take it for granted too. So you definitely, there's a fine line, you know, for the employees to really appreciate and you know, not take for granted these perks that are being given as well. So and to keep them motivated as well.
A fine line there. Well, Lisa, you've got something to tell us about that might gross out some parents, right?
and grown-ups.
And grown-ups,
Exactly. Well, and it'll prepare both of you well for possible children in the future. But what
Not
This
with
is-
each other.
No, sorry.
Clarify. we're news husband and wife, but that's
That's where the
strictly
line is drawn.
professional.
Well, what I found was the grossest places that children hang out. Okay.
Oh
so-
gosh. Okay.
And of course, this caught my eye.
Right.
The first place that they talk about is the pediatrician's waiting room. And I think a lot of parents do already know this, but yeah, when sick kids are being herded into a small space and there's few choices that are available for them to play with, you know, all those germs are going to be transferred to the toys, to the books, to the magazines, and that's, you know, not going to be good.
right,
Now,
okay.
some pediatrician offices actually offer a well side and the sick side, so you know.
I
that
have
kinda
seen
helps.
that, but it's usually an open area. At least
Right.
Yeah.
we're trying to separate them, but that's like when you used to smoke
Right.
on airplanes. Row 17 is smoking, row 18 is non-smoking.
Right.
There's
Right.
going to be some cross-contamination
Yes,
there.
that's exactly what they said. You
funny.
need to be careful still. Okay, and the next one, ooh, this is my favorite, the ball pits. Oh, gosh. Okay, so researchers have deemed that these ball pits are dirtier than a toilet.
Ugh.
Yes, they
Well,
did.
you get all those kids in there, and I mean, I've been in there and I've found Band-Aids, and you said that was
Oh, yeah.
some of the more least disgusting things that can be found.
Well, you know, if you have you let, if I let little Harrison go in and right in front of him was a baby or a toddler with a dirty diaper, that's not good.
Yeah.
It's just not
Ew,
good. And you know,
oh,
let's think
gosh.
about this. How often do you think that they would clean and disinfect
I was
those
just going
balls?
to say,
Right.
are they rotated or?
Yeah, it's not happening
Okay.
very often. It's going to be rare. So, the next one, classrooms. Classrooms are a germ zoo as
Mecca.
far as that goes. But yeah, what they said was the dirtiest place in the classroom is the spigot, the fountain.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah,
said
wow.
that is absolutely the dirtiest place. The next one, your sink at home.
Yeah.
And get this, this is really interesting. The kitchen sink has 1,000 times more illness-causing microbes, hello salmonella, than a toilet bowl.
Oh.
Toilet has come up twice, and the toilet's
Yeah.
the clean
Ew.
option.
Yes, I
Okay.
know, that's the cleaner option. So, yeah, and they also said the hand towels too, that hand towels are they're wet
Yeah.
and bacteria all on it, so it's
Yeah.
it's going to be growing that. So, and anyway, here's the last one, your floor. And this one, I mean, it makes sense,
Yeah.
but the way, then when I read on and how they described it was even worse. Pesticides, coliform, i.e. fecal bacteria, and gasoline, but these are just a few of the toxins that are typically found on the floor, on the bottom of our shoes actually, and then we drag it into the house. And then imagine your baby crawling on the floor and then putting their hand to their
they're
mouth
gonna
about
do that.
80 times an
Yeah.
hour. So that's what you're
Interesting.
looking at. So yes, those are the grossest places, and I'm glad I was able to bring that to
Oh, my
everyone's
gosh.
attention.
3 toilet mentions, and why is everything always sticky? That's the next question.
Right.
You don't want to know.
I'll find out soon enough.
Yes, you
won't
will.
I? Okay. Anyways, we mentioned Troy's at Dollywood, and
Yep.
we call these, one-tank trips, weekend getaways. You're hitting
Yeah.
the road. It's an American tradition. Of
course.
The family road trip. The Burks used to drive down to southern Florida, hang out with Grandma every time, maybe 2 times a year. That's 24 hours. We'd usually stop in Georgia. And, I mean, I was one of those kids where I could sleep basically the entire trip. But, of course, not everything's going to go right. Of course, vacation, a perfect example of the great American family road trip. But we do have some tips for you if you are heading out on the roads with the family this summer. First of all, respect the laws of the road. Don't speed. That's what they had as number 1. I like that one.
Oh, man.
It's dangerous. Traveling on
Oh,
the road
yes, it
is
is.
dangerous. And if you do the math, they always show you, like, if you do 10 miles over, you're really not saving that much time.
You're not.
And you're actually burning more gas.
My dad would go about 35 miles per hour. He hated leaving home. He loved taking us on vacations, but he hated to leave the house.
Okay.
And he would just drive so slow.
That's
and
what
we
the
were
right
just like-
lane's
and all
for.
of us
Yeah.
kids are
Maybe
like,
the shoulder.
and we're going to Disney World. I mean, we lived in Ohio, so you can imagine.
We
the
wanna
length
get
of
there.
time, and
Yeah.
We're like in the back,
Obviously,
already
any vacation, there's going to be some cost associated
Yeah.
with. One tip that they give you is actually get a gas card. So you actually, you could kind of plan out what you're going to spend in gas alone. That way you don't have to worry about swiping your debit card. You have set aside just for gas.
Right.
So if you do get in a pinch, maybe mom and dad spend too much at the casino, you at least have enough money to get home.
I
So that's a good
the
one.
gas card.
That
I hadn't
is.
thought
That's
of
a
that.
good idea.
ATM fees, always something to think about. I know traveler's checks
yeah.
are a big thing. They're also, in case you lose them, I believe most banks will actually reimburse you, too. I believe that's kind of their gist. Discounts and coupons, look ahead. A lot of these travel websites, we had Pigeon Forge on the other day. One-stop shop for planning your trip was through pigeonforge.com. They help each other, and all the businesses chip in. You get your coupons. Groupon it, you could find them. You just
I do
have
love Groupon.
a little research, and she's actually like the vacation travel guru
Yes.
here. She sits and just plans everything for her family. Accommodations, there are cheaper options than a hotel. Maybe you could camp. It's also a family fun experience.
Yeah, that's fun, especially
depending
in nice weather.
how it goes. Snacks in the car. I know we were big on the Twizzlers. That was the hot travel item in the van when we were on a road trip. Dining, there are cheaper options available. You don't have to eat a 5-star restaurant, and a lot of times you can find places where the kids do eat free. Coffee, make your own. Hotels often have their own little coffee machine in there. Plan ahead. That's one of the biggest things. Don't arrive at a destination and not know what you're going to do. You have to have a plan of attack. It's going to save you a headache. It's going to keep the kids from getting bored, and you're going to know exactly what you have to do on each day.
No.
And
I like
also,
those tips. I like it too.
last but not least, find free things to do. There's free things ever.
It's always underestimated.
Whether it be a
Yeah.
park or actually this specific article mentioned Seattle, go to the fish market where they're just throwing fish around. How often do you see that and it doesn't cost you a cent?
I like it.
I love that, and that goes with doing the research ahead of time. You can always look up fun, free things to do wherever you're on.
Now, Lisa, you're the mom. How do you break up the boys in the back seat? Because at any given time, someone is going to be at each other's throats. How do you keep them, kind of, 10 more hours to go?
You threaten to take away the electronics.
Oh, no. I believe
That
that's
will do it
experience
every
talking
time.
That
right
will
there.
do it every time. So yeah, but yeah, when we were growing up, oh my gosh, it was crazy because back in the old days, we didn't have car seats, we didn't have seat belts, we didn't do any of that. We were literally just at each other's throats in the back seat of
Read
the
a
car.
book.
Oh, it was horrible. One time my brother was teasing me. He'd had my wallet and he was taking it and throwing it at a window in the back of the truck, and it was open, and he was threatening, he was trying to act like he was going to throw it out the window. It really did go out the window.
Oh, no.
And we had to, and it was, it was a cab in the back, so Dad was in the front part driving. I'm banging on the window trying to get his attention. He couldn't hear me, and I'm like, Dad, stop! My money. And so he finally stopped, and we had to go back and literally walk. My brother had to walk until he found it, and we found it.
That's what
So-
brothers are
good.
for.
Yes,
Yeah.
but he learned his lesson.
Think
not
of the
to tease
days
me
of
like
having
that.
to read a map, too, an
Yeah.
actual map.
I remember those days
my
quite
goodness.
well.
Rough days. Well, I wanted to get your guys' take on this. I saw this blog online. This woman wrote a post saying that she hasn't slept in the same bed as her boyfriend, who she lives with, for 10 years. And she says she never will. She just cannot get a good night's sleep sharing the bed with anyone. And she says it's not because of snoring. She just has a better night's sleep on her own. So I kind of wanted to ask you guys, would you consider something like this? Do you need to share a bed with your husband, wife, or spouse? And then there were a bunch of other examples that she listed of friends who, were married and for years haven't shared the same bed, and they have a thriving relationship.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I understand, and I guess it's to each their own is
Okay.
my thought process with this. But I feel like that, it does kind of impede my sleep sometimes, having another person in the bed with me all night. So there's some nights where I'm kind of, over on the edge of the bed, just trying to get a good night's sleep. So I can understand it.
I get the I Love Lucy image, 2 twin beds separate of each other.
Yes.
But especially people on our schedule. I mean, my first alarm goes off at 2:30.
Yeah.
I guarantee whoever's in the bed next to me is not getting up at 2:30 either.
Right.
So, and I mean, you've dealt with that for how long
Yes.
now?
Oh,
So,
yes.
Right.
It's rough. It is.
And then going and changing down the hall just to not impede their sleep.
Yeah.
It's-
Right.
Yep.
It is what it is.
It is.
The things we
Interesting.
do for morning television.
To each their own, I
right,
guess.
that's right.
Well, you'll want to stay with us. Coming up next, we have the Kentuckians men's chorus here. They are going to serenade the
They're
studio.
awesome.
We can't
They're
wait.
so
They're
good.
amazing. Stick with us. You're watching Midday.